Welcome to PVT 1977 channel. Subscribe to the channel and don't miss the hottest news of the day. Our news today includes the following content. Zhao Lusi's Pearl Curtain, the transformation from a sweet goddess to a tough heroine. Zhao Lusi's acting skills have transformed in Pearl Curtain, and she played Duanwu's counterattack and growth, and won praise. The road to acting was bumpy, but she insisted on not giving up and finally became the focus of the screen. The inspiration of the story of Duanwu: survive in adversity, don't give up, and there is always hope. From Qian to Pearl Curtain, Zhao Lusi's gorgeous transformation. Hey, friends! Today we will talk about the costume drama Pearl Curtain, which has been very popular recently, and the heroine who shines in the play Zhao Lusi. Speaking of which, Zhao Lusi, this little girl, is really impressive. I remember the last time I watched her work, it was the rumored Qian. At that time, Zhao Lusi's sweet image was deeply engraved in my heart. And this time, the appearance of Pearl Curtain is like pressing an upgrade button for Zhao Lusi. She is no longer the little girl who can only act cute, but has become a strong woman who can take on things and fight hard battles. In the play, she plays Duanwu, a small person who has been hit countless times by life, but finally counterattacks and becomes a superior person with a spirit of not admitting defeat. I am very excited to see this story. Transformation of acting skills, from being questioned to being praised. Speaking of this, we have to mention Zhao Lusi's acting transformation. In the early years, some people criticized her for her empty eyes and unnatural posture. But look at her now, whether it is the heroic spirit in Who Rules the World, the delicate emotions in Starhan Canlon, or even the perseverance in Pearl Curtain Jade Curtain, every aspect is just right. Especially for the role of Duanwu, she interprets the joys and sorrows of a small person to the fullest. Those crying scenes really hit the heart, and people can't help but cry with her. The ups and downs and persistence of the acting career. And, do you know? Zhao Lusi's acting career has not been smooth sailing. From starting out as an online drama to becoming the darling of major platforms, she has experienced a lot of doubts and challenges. I remember that she mentioned at the promotional conference of Pearl Curtain and Jade Curtain that she had not filmed for 7 or 8 months before joining the crew. The anxiety and helplessness were probably only known to her. But it was this kind of tempering that made her stronger and made her performance more real and moving. Duanwu and Zhao Lusi, similar tenacity and growth. Speaking of reality, the role of Duanwu is simply tailor-made for Zhao Lusi. She proved with practical actions that as long as you don't give up, life will always give you a big hug. Isn't the story of Duanwu a true portrayal of Zhao Lusi herself? From an unknown newcomer to today's screen focus, every step she took was so solid and powerful. Inspiration in life: don't give up, there is always hope. Friends, life is like a play, and everyone is playing different roles. What Duanwu teaches us is not only how to survive in adversity, but more importantly, no matter what difficulties we encounter, we must maintain the innocence and kindness in our hearts. Because, although the world is big, there is always a sky that belongs to you. So, while you are chasing dramas, you might as well think about your own life. Is there a period of time when you feel that the road ahead is vast and you can't see hope? But remember, as long as you don't give up, life will always give you a surprise. The story of Zhao Lusi and Duanwu is the best proof. Elephant interview: Zhao Lusi, take every step down to earth, and the future will not be too bad. Duanwu and I have similar situations. Recently, the TV series Pearl Curtain Jade Curtain is being broadcast on Jiangsu Satellite TV. As the actress of the heroine Duanwu, Zhao Lusi also has a lot of resonance with the role. During the interview, she shared her understanding of the role. In her opinion, Duanwu is a very down-to-earth and inspirational person. Every time she grows up, she comes from her own struggles. This growth is very real. And she herself, like Duanwu, actually didn't have a big dream at the beginning. She was also confused when she debuted 8 years ago. Being Zhao Lusi today is also a surprise for me. Pearl Curtain and Jade Curtain is adapted from Tan Tianing's novel The Legend of Kunshan Jade, which tells the passionate and legendary story of a pearl diving slave named Duanwu who escapes from the pearl field to avoid being humiliated, meets the Western merchant Yan Zijing and the modest gentleman Zhang Jinran, and then travels west together to do business. He does not succumb to fate in the ever-changing situation, and eventually grows into a generation of female businessmen. It looks like a cool article, but the character's beginning is indeed a bit miserable. He was abducted by Chui's pearl field as a pearl diving slave since he was a child, risking his life to go into the water to collect pearls every day, and being beaten and starving is commonplace. Although the sky-collapsing beginning, Duanwu always has a heart that yearns for freedom and looks for every opportunity to escape from the pearl field. When I read the script, I was shocked by Duanwu's strong desire to survive. But even such a brave and fearless Duanwu has the idea of giving up. There is a clip in the play. After escaping from Chui's pearl field, the small boat Duanwu was riding hit the big ship Zhang Jinran was riding, and Duanwu accidentally fell into the water. When she first fell into the water, Duanwu was inspired by her instinctive desire to survive and struggled upward. But suddenly she felt that she had no attachment to this world and gave up, letting herself sink to the bottom of the water. Fortunately, Zhang Jinran saved her, which gave her a feeling of restarting her life. However, Duanwu's life after the restart was still miserable. In the latest plot, the Lilong bandit disguised himself as the Yan's caravan and launched a sneak attack, which led to the annihilation of the Yan's caravan. Xiaomi, Chaoda, and other former partners who fought side by side were also separated from Duanwu overnight. Duanwu's life seems to be always gaining and losing. I think this is the cruelest. I even wonder if Duanwu would not be so painful if he hadn't gotten it from the beginning. But despite her rough life, Duanwu has her own tenacity. Relying on strong willpower and unremitting efforts, she changed her name to Sumuja, opened her own shop, and eventually became a legendary businesswoman. Duanwu never waited for anyone to save her, nor did she have the so-called heroine halo. She just worked hard step by step and held up an umbrella for herself. In Zhao Lusi's view, Duanwu's growth is very real. She continued to struggle down to earth and finally achieved success. And like Duanwu, Zhao Lusi also has a kind of tenacity. When shooting underwater scenes, Zhao Lusi tried to go underwater again and again, just to present the best effect. The crew built a real scene in an abandoned swimming pool and arranged props underwater. It was winter, the water in the swimming pool was very cold, and the underwater vision was blocked. Some paint and sand would also enter the eyes, so it was difficult to shoot. Duanwu's own experience also resonated with Zhao Lusi. I think I am Duanwu. Duanwu didn't have such a big dream at the beginning. Becoming Sumuja and becoming a female businessman was a pleasant surprise for her. I am the same. When I first debuted 8 years ago, I was also confused. I didn't know where I would go. It is also a surprise for me to become Zhao Lusi today. In this regard, Duanwu and I are the same. We are both trying to do well in the present. In fact, before filming this drama, Zhao Lusi was experiencing a growth and change in her state of mind. When she came into contact with the script of Pearl Curtain Jade Curtain, she felt that she and Duanwu had similar circumstances, so she could interpret Duanwu's personality characteristics more completely. Many sisters came to visit the set at that time. They watched my performance through the monitor and said that my performance was more stable this time, my acting was richer, and I had grown a lot. This growth also made Zhao Lusi have more expectations for the future. As long as I take every step now down to earth, I believe the future will not be too bad. From lively little flower to tough female businessman, Zhao Lusi resonates with the role. From the rumored Chen Qianqian to star Han Canlon, the image of the actress Zhao Lusi as a lively little flower on the screen has been deeply rooted in the hearts of the people. In Pearl Curtain and Jade Curtain currently being broadcast on Jiangsu Satellite TV, Zhao Lusi changed her lively and cheerful image and played a low-level person Duanwu with a tragic fate and inspirational struggle. Recently, Zhao Lusi shared her understanding of the role in an interview with reporters and said, "I think I am Duanwu. From childhood, she was abducted by Chui's pearl field to be a pearl diving slave. She risked her life to go into the water to collect pearls every day. Being beaten and starving was commonplace. But Duanwu always looked for every opportunity to escape from the pearl field. Zhao Lusi's character Duanwu has a tenacity that she admires. With strong willpower and unremitting efforts, Duanwu changed her name to Sumuja, opened her own shop, and eventually became a legendary female businessman. In Zhao Lusi's view, Duanwu is a very down-to-earth and inspirational person. Duanwu does not have the so-called heroine halo. She just works hard step by step to hold up an umbrella for herself. Every growth of Duanwu comes from her own struggles, and this growth is very real. People of the same frequency will meet across mountains and rivers, and the same is true for Duanwu and Zhao Lusi. Like Duanwu, Zhao Lusi also has a kind of tenacity. When shooting underwater scenes, Zhao Lusi tried to go underwater again and again, just to present the best effect. The crew built a real scene in an abandoned swimming pool for shooting and arranged props underwater. It was winter, and the water in the swimming pool was very cold, so it was difficult to shoot. Zhao Lusi said when recalling the shooting experience. The role itself also resonated with Zhao Lusi. I feel like I am Duanwu. Duanwu didn't have such a big dream at the beginning. Becoming Sumuja and becoming a female businessman was a pleasant surprise for her. I was the same. When I first debuted 8 years ago, I was also confused. I didn't know where I would go. It was also a surprise for me to become Zhao Lusi today. In this regard, Duanwu and I are the same. We are both trying to do well in the present. In fact, before filming this drama, Zhao Lusi was experiencing a growth change in her state of mind. This growth also made Zhao Lusi have more expectations for the future. As long as I take every step now down to earth, I believe the future will not be too bad. What do you think about this? This concludes our news section. Welcome to leave your thoughts in the comments area. Let's discuss it together. Welcome, don't forget to give me a like and follow. Thank for all.